Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our 1257 Anno Domini Let's Play. Between episodes, I have actually done quite a bit of running around. I think it's been a couple of days in-game. It was a couple of hours in real life. But I decided to travel to Britain off-camera, or England I should say, off-camera, to basically see if I could make a profit on that iron somewhere, and I was able to, albeit a small profit. However, I did find a tournament, and so I fought in said tournament, and I won. So we're up to about 10,000 dinars right now, or gold, or whatever you want to call it. But we have made some money, and I've invested some of that money into the manor at Castlerea, and the way the manors work, let's actually go into the manor, and I'll sort of explain this, because a lot of you guys are familiar with, probably familiar with Arcade Knight's Let's Play, and he talks about how manors are a great way to make money, but he doesn't go into a lot of depth on it. And so if you talk to the Seneschal, you can say you want to build something, and so the way this works is certain buildings belong to certain tiers, and there's a first tier, a second tier, and a third tier. In order to build the second tier buildings, you need to have all of the farms. And so I have a grain farm and a livestock farm. We're currently building the fruit farm, so that we'll have all three farms. Once we have that, we'll be able to build the second tier stuff, which is like markets and things like that. And I forget how many of those you need to build. You may need all of them. Or you may need specific ones, but depending on what you build in the second tier, you will unlock the third tier buildings, which is the stuff that he shows in his Let's Play. For example, like the oil press, things like that, the ones that get you the resources that sell for a lot of money. So that's how you get up to that point. Basically, you need all of the farms so that you can unlock second tier. Doesn't produce any resources. It's things like I said, markets that will give you tribute in the form of money, but there's no real product for them to give you in tribute. And so once you have enough of those, you can move on to the third tier, and that's where you get the really lucrative stuff like the oil press that you can get paid in oil with, and then take that oil and sell it for a ton of money. So we're working toward that. We're building the fruit farm. Once we have that, we'll come back and we will look at what opened up and start working on that. I do have the guide bookmarked, so I can refer to that, and yeah. Anyway, continue the good work and we'll be on our way. So obviously Castlerea is no longer looted. Actually, I don't remember if that happened at the end of last episode or if it happened just after that, but obviously neither of these are completely abandoned anymore. And we have somebody to sort of thank for that. A character came in and was helping our villagers sort of rebuild and get resettled. And so I've asked him to go ahead and join our party, and I'm going to go ahead and introduce him to you right now. Alright, so Angaz Rosier, or Rosier, however he prefers it, hails from central France. His family has a long history of service to the French crown, with his grandfather serving in the Anglo-French War of 1202, and Angaz himself taking up arms in the Saintonge War 40 years later. This has led him to garner a deep-seated hatred for the English. He became a French agent tasked with inciting unrest among the Scottish and Irish nobility, directed toward the English crown in hopes of weakening the kingdom. This mission has led him to the small town of Castlerea, and obviously that's where we find him now. If you guys want to hear more of his story, James Sparkler, the guy who created this character, is doing a great roleplay in the comments. I highly recommend you check it out if you're into that sort of thing. Or if you just want more information on this character, he's done pretty extensive roleplay stories in every single video so far. So Angaz has a very robust backstory. More recently, he's been in Castlerea sort of helping rebuild, and sort of interacting with a few other of the subscriber-created characters along his journey there. So anyways, thank you very much to James Sparkler for submitting this character and for your great roleplays, as well as everybody else who's submitted characters and continues to roleplay in the comments below. I get a kick out of it. I love reading them. Hopefully you guys do too. And yeah, keep up the great work. If you want to get a character into the game, all you need to do is 1, become a subscriber, 2, make sure you're always liking and commenting, because otherwise, how do I find you? And 3, just come up with a great character with a cool backstory. If you're not into role playing, that's fine. You don't need to role play the character. However, like, let me know who your character is, and then you can offer advice or strategic stuff like that instead, if that's more your speed. Not everybody's into role playing, and I understand that. I'm not going to force you to, but you do need to be involved to get your character into the game. So yeah, let's check out his gear real quick, and then we'll get started. Okay, so given that he's an agent more than like a soldier, he's somewhat lightly equipped, but pretty competent in combat still. He is wearing some chainmail with a rich tunic over it, and then just some simple trousers with some sort of like lamellar greaves over his shins. He's carrying a light lance as well as a shield and a nice bastard sword that he is a pretty proficient duelist with. He can wield this with 1 or 2 hands, and then just a basic old Spangen helm. He's obviously trying not to look like he is necessarily part of the French kingdom. However, he's not necessarily trying to like hide it either. So yeah, he just got some simple gear on. He's not parading himself around as a knight or anything like that. And of course a horse. So yeah, that's his gear. He's going to be joining us up at the top of the party with Finn O'Shea, who I've given some heavier armor to. Let's see, did anybody else's armor change? Lachlan's armor changed. So Lachlan is wearing what Finn O'Shea was. Finn O'Shea got the upgrade because he is on horseback. I'm actually going to add you to my retinue. So he's going to follow us around along with Finn O'Shea. I don't have the money to train up any more knights, but I will get some more household cavalry. And I think that's pretty much all I can afford. Although we do have more money now, obviously, than we did at the end of the last episode. Quite a bit more. The tournaments pay fantastically in this mod, and they're actually really easy to win. I would say that tournaments are probably more lucrative than manors even. If you want to be like a knight that just runs around and competes in tourneys, you could make a lot of money that way, because it is not difficult to win the one-on-ones. If you have a lance, you will win basically every tournament, and the minimum that you win, I think, is like 5,000. If you bet on yourself, you can win quite a bit more than that, but I was afraid of betting on myself because I didn't really have any money. Anyway, we've got some stuff to do today. We need to find somebody to help us take the Island of Man. If we can take this, we can basically force the king's hand into either just giving it to us, making us more powerful and increasing our standing, or we can use that as the instigator of our rebellion, basically. However, before we do that, we kind of need to secure our alliance with the... I'm not sure what to call them. Oh, robber knights. I'm kind of curious. There's 8 of them. I think we could take them. Oh, there's not actually only 1 knight. But yes, the Lordship of Ulster, I guess you could call it. Fingon McCarthy specifically. We're trying to, marry his daughter and become his ally. And I think we should really do that before any sort of rebellion happens. We're getting close, but we're stuck at 10, and I don't really have a way to advance any further from that. So let's go ahead and fight these guys. This should be pretty straightforward. If everybody would follow me. Let's go ahead and... We're not going to be too shy about this one. We're obviously outnumbering them, hugely, so there's no reason to, mess around. But at the same time, they can be deadly, so we don't want to... I'm going to try to make sure he doesn't hit anybody with that couched lance. Everybody charge. See if you can get him in the back. Okay, good, he slowed down. Yeah, somebody clipped him there pretty good. I'll let them handle that, and I'm going to go harass these guys. Oh, destroyed his shield, but I did not get him. Come on, get that lance down. What are you doing? Ah, got me with a spear. Stabbed him in the face, though. I am having a hell of a time hitting anything. I just recorded a bunch of 12th century, 12th mod, the China one. And so I'm used to a much, much shorter sword. There we go. So yeah, going from that to this and having completely different weapons, being like a horse archer from like that to like more of a knight, is kind of a jarring transition. Oh good, another horse. This one is lame, but we might be able to heal him up. I don't know if that's a thing in this mod. It is in obviously native as well as most other mods, so I'm thinking if I keep these guys around, they may just become regular Rouncy and Corsair, or Courser. So I'm going to hold on to him, we'll see what happens, but either way it's a horse to give to somebody. So right, we fought them, let's head back to Dungannon, and we really need to find a way to improve our relations with the Lady Assault, because we need to marry her, preferably this episode. Or the next one, but like I don't want to have this draw out forever. Let's, is anybody here? Oh, you know what? I am completely blanking on something really important. I'm glad I remembered this. We took on a mission, or I took on a mission between episodes. Let's see. Fingon McCarthy was captured. If you guys remember at the end of the last episode, I think we heard that he was running around in Scotland, or we couldn't find him anyways, and see, the problem is I kept playing afterward, and so I'm a bit confused as to when I stopped recording and what happened before and after that. But his brother Conchobar asked us to try to rescue Fingon McCarthy, who is currently prisoner in Scotland. And obviously we need to rescue him if we want him to be our ally. We can't just leave him in those dungeons forever. We also have looters to deal with. This has been going on for a while, but frankly I can't find them, so I've given up on that. The peasants of Castlerea also want to be trained up to better defend themselves, because obviously after what just happened with them being completely, like, you know, wiped out from those raids, they want to be able to better protect themselves. And then Conchobar was made the marshal because his brother Fingon was of course captured, and I think in the last episode I did sort of back him in that regard. But he's asked us to come join the campaign, or at least check in with him. So that's what we're going to do. I don't recall where he was. Cashel. Where is this? It's in the Gaelic kingdoms. Okay. Oh, it's down there. Let's head to Donegal then, because that's his city. Or town, I should say. And he'll likely be in that area still. We'll check in with him, and then I think we're going to head to Scotland and see if we can find a way to sneak in to... where is it? Edinburgh. Man, this place got hit hard. Okay, good. Everybody's still here. There's Conchobar. Let's go check in with him. Yeah, I wonder if they're waiting for me. The king's here, though. So he says, "Ah, you've arrived at last, Faolan Fitzgerald. We've been expecting you. I hope you have brought with you troops of sufficient number and experience. I have a good company of soldiers. They're not the most experienced, but there's a lot of them. Excellent, we'll be moving soon. You're a man of sound judgment. We trust you to do what is necessary to support our campaign. I do not require you to remain close at hand, and I will not count it against you if you believe that your forces would be of better use elsewhere." So basically I can go do whatever I want. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. They're going to be here for a while, so I'm actually going to head east and see if I can't sneak in somehow or some way. It's going to be tough, but we need to rescue him. We can't just leave him in there. And if we rescue him personally, we will obviously, or he will be indebted to us, I should say. How is our party doing? We have 4 spots. A couple of lesser troops are ready to upgrade. Give me more footmen. Spears are not as useful as swordsmen in like sieges and things like that. And then of course we leveled up. I'm gonna go in for some agility here, because we need to get that to 12 before we can up our weapon master anymore. And then I will put that point into... That is tough, actually. I'm gonna start really laying into persuasion, because we are gonna need it when this war kicks off, or this rebellion kicks off, I should say. If we can't convince people to join us, then our rebellion's dead in the water. Alright guys, so here we are outside of Edinburgh, and the garrison here is far too big for us to overcome. I don't think that we'll be able to sneak in with this large a party though. I don't mess around with this stuff too much. Normally, if the quest is too difficult, I just say screw it, because generally, you know, doing stuff like this is ill-advised more often than not. But we do need to rescue Fingon. That cannot be avoided. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to return to... Honestly, I don't even have anywhere to do it, though. That's the problem. I've read that if you basically get rid of your whole party except for, like, your handful of companions, so, like, 10 or less, basically, it's really difficult to get caught sneaking in. But with a party this large, we're almost guaranteed to get caught. So it's not like I can basically... If this were Viking Conquest, I could just ditch my party right here. But I don't think that's an option in this mod, no. So it's not like I can set up a camp here, leave them, and then come sneak into this. So I don't know how I'm going to get them out, to be honest. How long do we have? Let's see, 27 days. So we've got time. We've got basically a whole month. I'm going to ride up, though. There is somebody here. Let's talk to him, and we'll see what we can do. Maybe they'll let us set a ransom or something. So we'll hail the guard and request a meeting with Maul Iosa, who's the lord of this place, I believe. Let's introduce ourselves. Wait, are you the king? Is that what he said? Yeah, I don't have an option. That's a shame. Alright, well, I definitely can't besiege it, and I don't think there's any way I can sneak in. I'm not willing to get caught trying. So, we've scoped this place out, but frankly, it doesn't look like it's doable just yet. Alright guys, so I've been called back by Conchobar, and so I basically just kind of sailed out and then had to sail right back. But he wants me to meet up with him and apparently follow them to whatever task he is going to do. I'm not sure. Maybe they're going after Edinburgh to save his brother. I don't know. But we'll find out. We just need to have a chat with him. I don't know how they're going to do it, though. Our parties, or our lord's parties, are so small. Like, I think I have the second biggest army right now. Albeit probably not the best trained. Why is he so much faster than me? Oh, he's not. I don't know how I'm going to catch him if he doesn't slow down. Okay, that doesn't really affect me. Ah, there we go. Good to see you again. What is it? About the task you gave me. I'm still working on it. Do you think we can advance our... Yeah, I figured as much. I wish to ask you something. What is the realm currently doing? We're on a raid, and they're targeting this particular village. Okay, so we're basically getting revenge. What are you and your men doing? You're laying waste to that village. Okay. I'll beg my leave then. So the garrison here is like 350, if I remember correctly. It's gonna take... We would need like several lords to help us out here, and I don't know how they afford these garrisons, to be honest, because it's entirely like... Well, not entirely, but the majority of the troops there were mercenaries. And mercenaries are really expensive, especially the higher tier ones that they're using. So I don't know how they're managing to afford this, but somehow they are. Let's see, I'm actually going to talk to him. And I'm going to say... let's see, there's a fortress that can be easily taken. I'm not asking you to do that, everybody's following you. And why are you so hostile toward it, since you like me? Okay, well, he doesn't seem to want to listen. Let's see. Wants you to follow his army until further notice. Well, I don't really want to follow his army. I guess we'll accompany him, but this is going to be a waste. Alright, so he's now asked me to scout around the area. I figure I'll go ahead and do it. I may as well boost my relation with him, and this isn't a hard task to do. So he wants me to go to Oban, Stirling, and Linlithgow and report back. So I will do that. We'll have to see where those places are. Oban is there, so I'll do it in that order, I suppose. Not too difficult. I didn't mean to pause there. Whoops. Let's be a bit cautious here. I don't want to get caught out in the open by several Scottish lords. However, I wouldn't mind fighting like one if I think I can win the battle. Let's see. Is it going to check these off individually? I don't know. We'll just kind of go from one to the next and see what happens. Okay, good. They're scouted. So I don't even need to, like, approach it. I just need to get in the general area. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, too. Yeah, a long time. I don't even remember the last time I have really been part of a... I guess when we were playing the beginning of our Clash of Kings series, we were like a Lord of the North for a while, a lesser Lord, before leaving to go to Essos after the Red Wedding. Or not to go to the Red Wedding, because of the Red Wedding. Villagers from... Okay, that doesn't affect me. Why am I being informed about that? Like, I don't need word from, like, what is it, Switzerland or something about cattle being stolen. Like, if it's happening around my village or at my village, I care, but I don't really give a shit about a village in a different country on sort of a different continent. I mean, not necessarily, it's still Europe, but mainland Europe versus the British Isles. Do I need to even return to him? I guess we will. Maybe he'll reward me or something. Well, what is it? Okay, you're not going to reward me. I say screw this. Nobody's going to help me out. I want to rescue his brother, but he's not willing to listen. Yeah, I would need, like, the king and at least 2 other lords to besiege this place. And I don't really want to bother because, frankly, we wouldn't be able to hold it. I'd rather just be able to sneak in, but I have nowhere to leave my troops because I don't have a castle yet. But I would still need several lords to take this because every castle in this game apparently has like a huge professional garrison, which is actually really unrealistic, but maybe they're doing it for better game balance or something. Like a garrison of 400 might be like a realistic... I'm not sure on the exact numbers, but generally it didn't take very many people to defend a castle, at least not a well-built one. Can we catch you? They've got... They're too fast. No, we can't. But they have prisoners that we could rescue. Screw it. Wait, quest failed. So what happened? Did he get ransomed or something? I would have... Frankly, I would have paid his ransom, but they always... It's so difficult to figure out how to do that. And, like, I never get the option. But apparently he was freed somehow or some way. It said quest failed, but... we didn't run out of time, so it means something else came in and took care of it for us, which I guess is fine. Okay, so we've got some people ready to upgrade. We are having a bit of an issue with desertion right now, but that's going to be difficult to deal with. How is our morale currently? Below average. Okay, so I don't think it'll be too big an issue. Let's go to Castlerea and we'll recruit some people from there. Wait, why are you going like that? The, like, nav meshing on these maps is really weird. Like, they have to travel, like, very specific angles. Why is that smoking? That's concerning. I don't think they can actually attack those, though. I think they have to attack the... Wait, do I want archers? Do I need archers? I have 42 Kern footmen, 43 archers. That's probably enough. I would think that's enough. So... let's not bother with any more archers then. We'll probably stick to cavalry at this point. We'll return to Dungan again, and we'll visit Lady Assault. But I don't have any poems to tell her, so I don't know how we're going to continue to boost our relations. We can ask if she has anything that we need, or that she needs taken care of. Wait, is she not here? Oh, there she is. Yeah, we can ask if she needs anything taken care of, but if she doesn't, then frankly we're kind of stuck at this threshold of 10. Hello, let's see, do you like poetry? That would depend on poem, we don't know any. We're still at 10. Do you think we have a future together? She likes that our intentions are honorable, but that's not going to help us in any way. Let's see, do you have anything to say? No. Okay, so we've got to find a way to boost that 10 more points. That's going to be tough, because I haven't... I mean, let's look, but I haven't found any, bards or whatever that know poems that we need to know. I don't think I have any prisoners, so I don't really need your help. Okay, well, that's going to make this difficult. I don't need any more infantry. Let's go to Karikabragi Castle. More villagers stealing cattle in places I don't care about. Let's grab some more cavalry, and then we'll head to Donegal and see if there's anybody there. But this is going to be tough. We want to marry her as soon as possible to secure this alliance, and it's being real difficult. That's a lot of money, but I'll do it. Problem is we're still on a deficit. We're not making enough to cover our costs. Oh yeah, we're only at 7,000. I'm gonna need to find another tournament probably. Another reason to find a bard. We can ask him where a tournament is, and if I can win another tournament, then we're fine. But if I can't, then we are in a tough spot. Okay, let's go to the tavern first. I don't think anybody's here. But belligerent drunk. Let's get my sword out. Some sort of animal, it looks like. You didn't even get to swing your sword. Such a waste. Okay, so who all was here? Tavern keeper. We have the madam. Oh, I can't boost our morale there. And then we have a wandering skald. Any poems? Yeah, of course. Well, any feasts happening in the area? This is not great presentation. So Prussia, Holy Roman Empire, and Frankfurt. Carcassonne, that's down by like Spain, like right on the border with. Well, I don't think Spain's not a kingdom at this part of history, but the area that would be Spain. This is like right on the border, like right along those mountains. Let's see. Genoa, Prussians, Constantinople. I think the closest one is going to be Frankfurt, and that's not close at all. But if we need the money, I might have to do it. Trading doesn't really seem to be an option. At least not around here. There's nothing that I can really buy or sell here that will make me a profit. So I'll have to figure out something else. How far is Frankfurt? That is a ways away. There's Carcassonne. And just because there's a feast doesn't necessarily mean that there would be a tournament. And given that this is a castle and not a town, my bet would be that there isn't one. Frankfurt, however, is a town, so they might have a tournament there. And so I could potentially make money that way. That's tough. I wish I could get some people to help me out with this, but like I said, that garrison is massive. I'm wondering which village accompanies that, because I believe each castle has an associated village. And so if we took this, does that mean we would get this as well? Sudriyar? I don't know. I don't know. So what sorts of goods do we have here again? Tools for 340. Can I make a profit on that? My guess is probably not, and that's a lot of money to spend on a bet. I can sell some stuff though. Oh wow, 1 coin? Oh, I need food. That's probably why our morale is taking a hit, although there's no food here. So I'm going to take these tools and hope that I can make a profit on them. And then I'm going to need to head somewhere where I can buy food. So actually, you know what, let's hit a village up. Alright, so I'm down in Dublin, and unfortunately nowhere in Ireland can we sell these tools for a profit. In fact, in Dublin we would sell them for a significant loss. So between episodes I'm going to have to head over to England and see if I can't sell them somewhere for a profit. I may go as far as Frankfurt as well, just to fight in that tournament. I probably won't bother showing it. They're really not enjoyable to watch because it's just me charging somebody with a lance, knocking them out, and then doing that like 8 times in a row. So I don't think we need to really bother showing it on camera. Let me know if you guys would like to see that sort of thing, but I probably won't show this one just because I'm gonna have to do a lot of running around to make some money. However, I guess if there are any that happen within our kingdom, I will show them. So if there's like an Irish tournament, then I will show that. But if I have to just run around and find tournaments to make money, I don't think that's really worth your time. And it would be kind of weird because I'm usually doing this stuff off camera, so I would have to like record that and then splice it into another video or something. I don't know. Anyways, we're very much out of time, so I'm gonna end the episode here and try to find some ways to make some cash and figure out how I'm going to take this castle, because nobody seems to really be interested in helping me with that. Hopefully Fingon was able to escape Edinburgh. It seemed like he was, because my mission got cancelled. And let me know, I need some help figuring out how to woo Lady Assault further than that 10 relations that we've currently got. So give me some other ideas, guys, because I don't think there's any more poems that we can learn. If there are, the people that I've been finding don't know them, so I'm gonna have to search like the entire map basically. But if you guys know of other ways, you know, definitely help me out there. I think that's gonna be it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Anno Domini with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.